Hi, everyone, and welcome to the collective reading for the week of June 12th through the 18th. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi, everyone, and welcome. I hope your week is off to a great start. In this reading, we're going to be looking at the general theme and energies for the week ahead. I'm going to pull a main card here to start. We're going to kind of use that as the guiding point for the reading and the theme for the week. And then we'll dive a little deeper into looking at the different aspects of our experience down here. So right off the bat, we have Mending, number 52, breaks down to number 7 in numerology, which is the number of our connection to spirit or to that side to our experience. Is also a level of connection to personal confidence in who we are through the understanding of our connection to the divine. Now, in this card specifically, you see two girls kind of looking like they're both working on maybe sewing or mending. I always like to think of it as like one of those party banner things that you'd put up for somebody's birthday or something like that. So there's something here around almost an intuitive feeling for me that there's like a mending around our relationships with the sense that we are kind of moving into a celebratory energy, looking at who we are wanting right now to really connect with and to build perhaps relationships that are already there, but build them a little stronger. Perhaps go back and reinforce certain areas and really bring that energy this week of going out there and working with others, but in the sense of kind of a celebratory, playful energy. I don't always get that feeling with this card. Sometimes it can have almost more of a solemn energy of, having to work on mending in that relationship, but I'm getting the opposite. It's almost like working with relationships now that you will be able to kind of strengthen this week so that you move into a playful, supportive, celebratory energy starting in this week and moving forward. Now I'm going to pull a couple additional or one or two cards, depending on what comes out here from the traditional tarot. And we'll get kind of a additional backbone for this reading here. So when you think about that this week as just the general theme, I like to look at these kind of collective readings as looking at the portal of energy that we are working with in the week, where if we really kind of focus our energy, we are really able to zero in on what Spirit is asking us to grow. And this is a good way kind of doing this week by week for us to not get lost in only focusing on one specific area of our life at any given time. So we kind of are working with the flow, allowing us to stay in balance with the rhythm of the divine design behind everything. Now, I love that this card came out because this is exactly what I was feeling. The Page of Cups is that innocent, fun, youthful energy. It can actually represent the inner child within. It can also represent celebrating with others, openly, vulnerably sharing what we love, what comes up from a place of vulnerable emotion within us, and not holding back. Really, when you see this individual here, holding that cup out with that kind of earnestness of a child who's like, this is what I love, this is what I don't love. It's almost like when you see two like little kids come up together to each other and they're like, friend, are you my friend? It's one of those. And I get that feeling here that there might be this week where you get to reconnect maybe with a couple key people in your life. And there may be that feeling of almost like holding yourself out there, like, do you want to come and celebrate with me? Do you want to do this with me? Do you want to have this conversation or share this experience? Are you my friend? And it could just be, again, just really reconnecting, just focusing this week on reconnecting to those key partnerships and really making sure that there's that effort that's put forward so that that relationship tie and bond is stronger and better through the attention given to it this week. Now, I have 4 decks here that are pulled out. We're going to be looking at each of the aspects of our experience that's really expressed through the tarot, which is our emotions. So that's through the cups, our thoughts, which is the swords in tarot, the earthly plane or the tangible plane, which is through pentacles, and then we have our passion, our fire, how we choose to take action, which is expressed in the wands. Now, I chose specifically each one of these decks to really kind of focus on the theme specifically. So this is a deck that really speaks to kind of love and the emotional side to our experience. So we'll get to see what we should be looking at and focusing in on, or what we can expect kind of in an emotional side to our experience this week. So let's go ahead here and see. We have two. We have love endures. It says, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation, with the number 43 also breaking down to that number 7. So there's a direct connection here. I love that it says love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. And that really does kind of speak to the mending here. This could even be where you're mending a relationship that maybe you haven't spoken to this individual in some time, or maybe there was some volatility that happened between you and this other person at another time in your life. And maybe this is that time in this week to, if you feel called to reach out to someone, to really maybe see if you can mend that relationship, or to, if you feel afraid to do so, maybe it's not even just around, because it could just be that somebody has lost touch. We all get very busy in our lives, and it could just be simply that there are people maybe in your life that you think about on a daily basis, or maybe on a weekly or monthly basis, but you're not good at keeping in touch, and you might be kind of worried now, well, if I call them or if I reach out to them out of the blue, is it going to be strange? And it says, no, don't give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So really keep that in mind if you're feeling kind of wary about reaching out to someone. And then I like how it says have faith. So there's this big theme around faith that we have in our relationships and the bonds that exist and can only grow stronger. It says trust your faith in this situation. Number 12. For me, the number 12 is the number of God, the number of divinity. The reason why I see it in that way is because I do see colors associated with numbers, and those colors and numbers have great significance for me. But I do see kind of, for me, the building blocks, which are the number 2, 4, and 6, that correlate to the colors red, yellow, and blue. That those, when you add those three numbers up, 6, 4, and 2, they equal 12. And there's a wholeness, there's a grounding. It's something that sometimes is hard for me to explain, but that really is, for me, the number 12 is the divine design number. It's the number of the building blocks all coming together, but it also reduces down to the number 3 in numerology, which is the number of creativity, of divinity. It's also the number of greeting life with the innocence of a child coming through right here. So there is this feeling of have faith, understand that love does conquer all, and that sometimes relationships go through different periods. Again, kind of when you think about this string that they're mending, that maybe because there's been so many celebrations, something has become threadbare, and now you both can work together to build it stronger and celebrate again together. There's something along those lines that's really coming through here this week. So on an emotional sense, if you feel any type of trepidation, any type of self-doubt, this is saying have faith. Love is, again, the strongest force in our experience, and it's amazing what love can mend when we have faith in it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a card here to take a look at what's really going on in our mental plane of our experience. So where should we focus our thoughts, and what can we kind of expect here? Now, after I pull all these initial cards, I'll also pull some additional clarifiers just to get a little more information in each one of these categories. So we have, oh, I love it, the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So, I just got goosebumps. There is something here, yes, around these mending of relationships, around sharing of ourselves vulnerably, of really reaching out and embracing that energy of love, because there is this feeling of coming together, and this will be obviously unique to our specific experience, but there is this feeling of maybe there are celebrations coming up. We are entering into summer in the Northern Hemisphere. There's this feeling of people, kids being out of school and people choosing to go on vacation. And there's this almost this feeling, though, of perhaps maybe in the mending of some either familial, workplace, or personal relationships, that these people are specifically being highlighted in our lives this week because this is part of our new soul tribe, because there is a intuitively guided sense of this. These are the people who are going to support our inner child. These are the people who are going to support the part of the next version of ourself that is opening up this month in this kind of portal energy that we are all experiencing. So let's go now. And that's kind of what's kind of coming through based off of last week's collective, which was really talking about, that doorway opening, choosing a new path, kind of growing, almost doing like a review of the past to realize how far we've come and now realize that we are different in this moment and growing into something else. And then, so now I get to see who we want to kind of include in that, I feel, to come with us. So let's see. I'm going to pull a card now for the realm of the earthly realm, or basically the realm of our tangible experience here. So what do we need to know about our physical experience this week? Now, I like to use the Power of Surrender cards because I really feel like that when we surrender, generally it is in the physical experience. We have to kind of either stop ourselves from doing something that directly affects what happens, or we have to, I feel like maybe just, again, sorry guys, I'm just getting an intuitive hit. Sometimes it's a little strange how these messages come in. But I'm hearing just guided, which is very strange. So I don't know what that means. I think this is a very, I feel, intuitively guided week, that we may cross paths with people we weren't expecting. Again, there may be that strange, email or text that gets sent, and it's like that there's a little bit of the guidance and divine timing coming in, and we're being asked to really just come from a place of vulnerability and authenticity this week. So I love that it says surrender to joy. It says, a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. Wow, that seems like it shouldn't be hard, right? Who doesn't want to surrender to joy in their life? But I think at times we can get to a place where when we go through our day-to-day experience, especially for those of us who are still maybe in the work world, or who we are parents to a very thriving and bustling household, there can be moments where we feel stressed, moments where maybe we don't feel supported, moments where we can just feel that general frustration of, I just can't get away from it. It's an interesting thing, our concept of joy and really where that comes from. And joy can be felt in, I like to explain the experience of joy as not just when you're laughing out loud or when you feel like, how can I say it? It's not just a feeling of happiness. It goes much deeper than that. Joy to me is when we experience something so profoundly beautiful or so profoundly touching through the emotion of happiness that it actually brings that teary-eyed response, like the response you get when you watch somebody walk down the aisle to get married, or you see the birth of someone's child. There's something along those lines where it takes happiness to a much more profound level, where there's almost this like the body doesn't know how to handle that level of just feeling truly connected in that moment to the awe-inspiring beauty of our experience. And that may seem like I'm overcomplicating joy, but sometimes we forget that we can tap into that we can pull back for a moment in our busy everyday experience to be in awe and wonder at something that literally can bring tears of joy to our eyes. That you can step back and look at your children who are driving you crazy in the moment and step back and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that these beings, these sometimes difficult beings, are truly their own unique individual, and that we gave birth to them at some point, or that they are here and gifted with the experience of life, and I get to enjoy that through them. Or that we maybe are in our workplace and we just take a step back and we look at how far we've come and we realize, oh my gosh, as much as yes, this job can be difficult or stressful, it's a miracle that this career path opened up for me and I am where I am today. Or it's incredible that I get to work with so many wonderful people and not everybody gets to have that. There's that point. I'm sorry guys, I'm going to turn on my light here. It's getting kind of dark outside. We're having a little summer storm move in and I realize just it's getting darker and darker in here. But there's that feeling of getting to that place, because the more that's for me, the activation zone in our life experience. If you want to manifest joy in your life, if you want to manifest miracles, if you want to manifest that true emotional connection that starts to allow us to really see our purpose and the meaning in our life, it's when we get to that place where we can recognize on a daily basis something in our experience that can bring us that touch us to that pure feeling of joy, because that really is how we experience joy, is authentic to us, and the ways that we experience it are truly authentic to us. So we're tapping into our own authentic connection to spirit, which is that number 7 coming through here, that direct connection and confidence of our unique self and in our unique self, because we know we are directly connected to the divinity of the collective whole of all of existence. I hope that makes sense. I feel sometimes my Mercury placement in Gemini can make me a little long-winded or all over the place, but I think for some of you that might connect with you there. All right. So in our physical experience, this is a week of just surrendering to joy, finding where you can find that in your life, and then connecting spiritually, almost like, again, getting that jump start of our spiritual self, so that we can connect that authentically with the spiritual selves of other people who are looking to come in, who are being guided into our life this week. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card here for what we're expecting around our passions and where we're choosing to take action. This is the fiery side to our experience. And we have the 4 of Swords, which is interesting because when you think about being passionate and fiery and where we choose to take actions, the 4 of Swords can actually be kind of the complete opposite of that. This is a card of exactly what you see here. It's a card of rest. It can be a card of recovery. It can be one where we are taking the time to really review and reflect. And it's one where we're reflecting on our truth versus the truth of ourself that could be hidden through the lens of past pain, hurt, and failure. And so this week is really not a week to, aside from really opening yourself up to the connections in your life, to the support of friends, to possibly being guided to connect with either new or past individuals in your life and strengthening those bonds through joy, through play, through the inner child and that self-expression that comes from that vulnerable place. Where we choose to take action this week is really more about choosing to rest. This upcoming week is not a week to push. It's not a week to, obviously when I say don't take action, that doesn't mean that we don't still keep our life moving forward. It's more that this is a week where maybe if you are trying to make a decision to start something new, or you are trying to make a decision to where you want to choose to take action and how, this is a week to just really reflect on that first, to say, am I coming from the most authentic version of myself, or am I making a decision based on fear, out of wanting to avoid a repeat of a past pain? Or am I choosing to do something because I am trying to run from a version of myself, from a past failure, from something along those lines? So there's really this taking this week and utilizing the lens of others around you, the love and support that you can give and that you can receive from others, and getting very much in touch with your inner child and the vulnerable part of yourself that you yearn to express and that really wants to be part of a great collective gathering and celebration and that wants to experience that joy. Where can you stop to really reflect on, from this point forward, as you choose to take action as your authentic self, where can you start to really gain clarity again as to your own strength, your own power, and to really look at that in direct relationship to, again, fears that are based out of pain, past pain. Maybe I don't want to get into a relationship, or I don't want to get into a new friend group because the last time this happened, I was hurt by them, or I was hurt by that individual, or I really do want to take action to start my own business, but how am I going to choose to make sure that I'm starting it in a way where I am learning from my past instead of having the past haunt me as I do so. So this is just really a week to not maybe jump the gun on going out the gate as the new version of yourself, or taking action in some way that's a little bit more elevated outside of just your general day-to-day, keeping the wheels going, and really stopping to get clarity on yourself apart from past wounds, pains, heartache, and all of that, and really being able to kind of move out of this week releasing that. The traditional image of this card in the Rider-Waite Tarot is a knight he's basically at rest or repose, where he's laying down and he has the 3 swords hung up on the wall, which is the 3 swords of the heartache and the pain from the past, and he has his 1 sword of truth laying next to him. And it's almost like he's contemplating, thinking of those wounds, but when he gets up to leave, he's going to leave those 3 swords in that chamber and only take his sword of clarity and truth of self with him. So keep that in mind this week. That's a really beautiful kind of image for all of us to just get into that place of contemplation about ourself, our strength. And if you think of having a sword of your own personal truth, what is that, and how can you start to utilize that? How can you find it this week and start to utilize it as you move out into next week? This is kind of and swords really represent not only just our thoughts and clarity of the mind, but also clarity of communication. How are we now communicating to others about ourselves, about our perspectives, about what we hold value to? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. So we'll see if any additional messages want to come out. So right off the bat, we have the Knight of Pentacles that just popped out. So there is something here about maybe getting the plan in place, kind of the slow and steady approach to something. But let's go ahead and see what we need to know about love endures and have faith. 2 of Swords. Yeah, there might be kind of a waffling, a decision. Should I engage with this individual or not? Should I try to mend this or should I not? And I think with, again, love endures and have faith, this is the green light from Spirit to say, you don't have to sit in the darkness of wondering this person is coming into your life or is approaching you for a reason. And it's to prove that that love really can be the strongest bond. And yes, there is love, Ace of Cups right there. That love can always, the Ace of Cups is almost like that refreshing point. It is the start of new love. It is the start of the reconnection to the soul, to spirit, and to our emotional experience. And so there is something here for many of you that there may be this individual that comes back and you say, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I? And it says that there's a chance for a new, fresh connection in love with this individual, which is beautiful. So we have the Gathering. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, we have the Hermit. Now I love that because look at this image here with these individuals coming in. Look like they're all kind of being like heralded towards, this area. And then here's the Hermit who looks like he's holding the lantern to guide them. There's something here around really getting in touch with, if there is this feeling of it's all coming together in a soul tribe and a great gathering, well, the Hermit is about going within and soul seeking for you, to understand your place in this great gathering, to understand what you uniquely shine out that can attract others to you, and to also be aware that each one of these individuals also has the same inner magic, inner light that will be unique to them, that they will be shining out as a beacon to you. So there's this kind of reciprocity here of really understanding what you uniquely bring to this group, to this collective experience. Okay. Surrender to joy. Let's see what we need to know. Oops, did I? Looks like there's and there's another one that popped out there I didn't realize. 10 of Pentacles. Oh goodness, that's beautiful. That is legacy. That is abundance in the physical. This could really be showing others what the ultimate vision for success is. Really, really beautiful. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure I turn off my phone. I did not realize it was not silenced. Okay, so yeah, this could be for some of you. This could be that, this could be something around the family as well. For those of you that maybe are mending something within your own family group or dynamic, that because the 10 of Pentacles can be that ultimate kind of, it's like all the stuff you want to have, including your family, including maybe generations of family. But there's something here around that it's coming together, that there's this feeling around maybe perhaps home and family, that there's a supportive quality here. Or if this is for business, for those of you who are not looking for the home and family, this could be more around, people coming together for this ultimate successful business. And there's a lot of highly creative and very, again, soul-seeking, deep individuals coming together here for that. Okay, so we have surrender to joy. What do we need to know about surrender to joy? Oh, I love it. We have 9 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. 9 of Pentacles can speak to abundance. It can speak to really being able to stop, smell the flowers, so to speak. The 6 of Cups is going back to a time of innocence. It can really relate directly to the Page of Cups here. It can also be making peace with the past, really understanding the lessons that you learned, kind of going back and looking at the bittersweet quality perhaps of when you were innocent and when you really did embrace this part of yourself, the Page of Cups, and bringing that forward so that it heightens your current experience of what you have to be grateful for in the physical. Meaning really looking at maybe as a child you had always thought that you wanted to have X, Y, and Z, and you wanted to experience that in your life. And suddenly, as you think back to that, you realize, oh my gosh, I have that. I've achieved it. And sometimes we don't give ourselves that moment to just really stop and enjoy it. 9 of Pentacles speaks to having a lot in the physical to be grateful for. And we can often be always forward pushing, always forward facing, that we got here, but we need to go up. Now there's another top of the mountain to get to, and so we never just stop and look at the view and enjoy how far we've come, and maybe sit down and really think about, wow, I always wanted to climb this mountain as a kid, and here I am, instead of looking and saying, well, I'm here now, what's the next tallest peak? So there is something about this week is really about enjoying what you have, but in relationship to a past version of yourself, where maybe you had dreamed about this, you had wanted it, or a past version of yourself that maybe can be brought to peace through the realization of what you have in the physical that can bring you so much joy that maybe wasn't able to have brought you joy in the past. Okay, so now let's see the 4 of Swords. We'll get this as the last little piece of advice here for the week ahead. What do we need to know about the 4 of Swords and a reflection on how we choose to take action? Yeah, 2 of Wands, making a big decision. The 2 of Wands is when we ask ourselves, where do we want to go from here? And this is a broad decision, or a big this can be very much a life-changing decision, because with the Two of Wands, you see the individual holding the globe in his hand, and it's almost like he's looking out into the world and almost feel like you can hold the world in your hand, but you have to make the choice as to, do you go this direction or do you go this direction? And that can be difficult, because when you think of wands as our passions, this can be where there's two competing inspirations within. This could be even two competing aspects of, I really want to focus on my home and family, but I also really want to focus on maybe in this next cycle, I really want to focus on my career path. It could be something along those lines, but I think more than anything, this is really relating to how do we want to conduct ourselves from this point forward? That when we are choosing to take action, are we showing ourselves as the authentic individual who sees the world and their place in it as who you are authentically, or are you the individual who's choosing to take action from a place, kind of like when you see the individual's back is turned here, choosing to take action from a place that's a little more maybe shadowy, or that is not truly authentic, that you're still choosing to take action from a place that is coming from a place of fear, coming from a place of I don't want to be hurt again, coming from a place of maybe the wounds that people have placed on you, old stories about who you are and what you're capable of. So there's something here around really being able to understand and gain clarity as to how can you choose to take action starting this week, but more into next week, where you have clarity as to who you are and why you're choosing to take action in a specific path or in a specific way versus another. Why am I choosing to do this versus choosing to do this? Is it because this is more in alignment with me, or is it because I'm trying to avoid something and I haven't truly released the past pain? So this is that beautiful week to really reconnect with our innocence, make peace with the past, realize how far we've come, and truly enjoy it this week, and realize that it's time to start sharing that with others, to start shining that out, and that there is going to be intuitive divine guidance as to who is coming into your life this week to create new connections or to mend old relationships or old connections, and how that is going to help kind of bring in this new soul tribe, or how it's going to help bring in maybe when we think about family doesn't always have to literally mean your family. For some of us, it can. You could literally be, holding the lantern up for multiple generations of your family to come together in one place. But this could also be where you might be holding up your lantern to find your soul's family, which, I've been speaking a lot to one of my friends recently about this. I grew up with not a lot of real family in my life, but we had a lot of friends who were considered family. And so when we think about what family means, that can literally mean the friends or the people that you choose to bring in at this time in your life, and that is becoming your soul family and will eventually be your 10 of Pentacles, your legacy, building that I always like to look at it as kind of like building the castle with everyone you want to share it with. So this is that beautiful week to start to really, I think this week is where we get clarity as to who we want to share the next experience of our life with, who we're going to really attract towards us, making peace with the past, being grateful in the present, and really understanding the why behind us choosing to take action in a different way, starting with next week. All right, I will leave it here. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. I can't wait to see who comes into my life. I hope you feel the same. And if you'd like to look at your reading for the month of June, I have a posting for each sign for the month of June up on my channel. If you would like to see a little extra for each sign about the energies of this week, where I expand on this message, I'll be posting those within the next 2 days, so you can subscribe to my channel to be notified when those are released. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for the next collective reading. Bye, everyone.